All right. It's Saturday morning. I am live. And what's going on? So, basically, what I'm doing is tried out the intro. Okay. Um, so, that's new to me. I just figured out how to do StreamYard, do an intro. So, hopefully, it was seen. I will play this back and make sure it's good to go. With the little countdown and all that stuff. But yeah, it is Saturday morning, and seems so far to be a normal morning, right? And we'll see how the day goes. So I got some stuff planned for myself today. Got a few busy things I got to do today. I'm gonna try to get to some tank maintenance. If I don't get to it today, I will definitely be doing it tomorrow. But a couple things to show. You know, I in this room right here, in this office, I've changed some things around. So basically, uh, oh, if you see me fidgeting with something, it's this little suction cup just for the tank. You basically, yeah, this tank behind me is a 30. Desk used to be right here against this wall, and right here I had a 20, which I still do. I just kind of put it in the corner, just cornered it out, right, right there. Okay, it used to be flat against the wall right here, and then I had my 55 right here where my desk is at against this wall. So what I did was I took down I took down the 55 because I didn't really want to have it in here anymore. And if I put it up somewhere else, that's I don't know yet because downstairs I have three other tanks, and they're good sized tanks. The smallest one is a 65. Okay, 65, a 90, and a 150, all downstairs. Excuse me. So I figured this is good enough up here. I don't want mm, all that. Well, I'm on the second floor, so I don't want all that weight up here. But just to kind of show what's a little different in here right now. Um, oh shoot, I didn't put up my. I did not put up my link. Okay, hang on. Let me copy this. Go to YouTube. Let me copy this. I may have to start over. Pin message. All right. I may have to start over. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now I got that up. Now I got that up. There's the cat. So again, good morning. This ain't gonna be a too long of a stream, but like I said, I had made some adjustments. Here's the cat. Hey, buddy. Just dropping in and say hey. Dropping in and say hey. Huh? So yeah, like I said, I made some adjustments to my room. I don't call this my fish room. I still got, like I said, I got 2 tanks in here. I had 3. I took the 55 down. Okay, took that down, and I don't know if I'm gonna put that one back up because everything that's in here was in 55. It was kind of an overkill. I mean, they're just small tropical fish. And right now I do have a little thing swimming right there. You can't really see him very well, but he is a baby. Well, he's juvenile, not baby, but juvenile. Electric Blue Jack Dempsey. He's going to go eventually. He's going to go into the bigger tank, the 150 downstairs, once he gets big enough. But when he gets too big for this tank, then definitely I got to take him out because it's pretty unconventional. He's in here with like some glowfish, a molly, little tetra, and yeah, so he can't be in here for too long. So yeah, I mean, and then again, I have the 20 gallon, just a little 20 gallon in the corner right here. I got her set up. All right, and I got 2 baby angels right there. They seem to be doing fine. They're in. Yes, they're in with these neons. Neons don't bother them. I also have some 3 baby convict, polar blue convicts. This is all temporary. Okay, like the new ornament. So most of this is some of the plants in here are live. You can tell which ones are real live plants. Obviously not that one right there, or that one. But all the littler ones are live plants. Okay. I could set this right here. How that would look. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Okay, not too shabby. Okay. So they're doing, like I said, they're all doing pretty well in there together. I know those guys are hungry. Act like they haven't been fed in a week. But like I said, it had to do a change in here. I thought that 55 was an overkill for those littler tropical fish, and I don't know if I might just sell that 55. I might sell it. I probably will, or I'll just probably keep it in the garage. Who knows? I tend to keep empty tanks just kind of put away in the garage. Like right now, I have it's gonna have that 55 in there. Once I actually get it in the garage, um, there's a 30 just like this one with the sand that actually comes with it in the garage. I got 2 10 gallons sitting in there and a corner, including another 10-gallon corner tank I have sitting in there. So yeah, they've been sitting in there for a while. I don't know, I'm not sure what to do with them. Really, I don't ever really see me putting them all those back up again. Um, and I have a little 2.5 gallon standard shape tank. I put that one up a lot, up and down for small fish for quarantine. Um, so this 20 was a quarantine tank, but I kind of turned into a regular tank. I need to kind of set up another quarantine tank. I mean, this could end up being a quarantine tank eventually down the road. After once these neon tetras are, you know, after their time. Hopefully, it's obviously a long time from now. But yeah, like I said, I have things that I got to do today. So this is just kind of a test, sort of a test stream. I wanted to test out the intro. Just created it. again, like tomorrow, I will be back on here tomorrow. I have a time slot now after Degenerate Fish Keeper. He's on from like 9 to 11 on Sundays, and I will be on from 11 to noon, just an hour time slot. Because I was trying to get on, and I was like, how do I get onto this, onto this list? And I had no idea that all this time I've been part of the, like streaming and in this whole community, Fish Fam community. I had no idea there was a link. Fish Fam dot link. I had no idea until I got hold of Matt from Liquid Zoo, and really appreciate him. Letting me know. He added me to it, so that's pretty awesome. Appreciate that. So I'm pretty psyched about that, and the link is pretty awesome. It's got he linked up. I know everybody, a few people listening to this already know about it, but I think that's either way. It's pretty awesome how it links up the website, my website. It's I have a little website I started. It's not much to it, but if you check it out at turn2aquatics.com, it's got just a little bit of basic info for if a beginner happens to roll upon the website and wants to check it out. There's just basic info about a couple, like your 3 basic filters, not to including a sump, not yet, and just like mentioned doing a water change, weekly water change, whatever. But yeah, so, and it has a little online store. I call it the Aquatic Action Online Store. I basically have just like a couple T-shirts for sale. I have 11-ounce mug on there where I put the logo on, and I got my stickers on there. The stickers are on there. I know sometimes I do give them away on a stream. If anybody is ever interested, I might just give them away. I might take those off of the online store, because I just kind of like giving those stickers away too much. So that one I'm probably just gonna take, because those stickers come straight from me. The other stuff on the website, on the online store, those other designs, those other few, like 2 or 3 T-shirts that are on there, um, those come from a website that's, or like a website that creates the T-shirts as they're ordered. Like, I don't have the pile of T-shirts here. They get, when you buy one, they get ordered from a store and they get sent straight out. So uh, yeah, the only thing is for tall people. Like, I'm 6'2", so if I order a shirt, I'd get a 2X, big guy, I'm 6'2", about 280. Yeah, about two. It's I know, right? Um, but the thing is, if I wear a shirt, I'm trying to find a website where they have shirts that are extra long, because people like me, it's like you get a T-shirt and you wash it and it's short, and it's like the bottom of it's like, so when you lift your arms up, you can see your you can see your gut, kind of, with certain T-shirts. But I think, like, my favorite brand for a T-shirt that I like to wear, that is made for tall people, like one of them is the Carhartt brand. Like, I mean, those T-shirts are like, they made, they'll do extra long, and I mean, I could wear those T-shirts like for work shirts every day, whether they're collared or T-shirt. But a lot of these companies that you may have T-shirts made through, if you have a website like I do, a lot of them don't have extra long, or for extra, for tall people. And that's what I'm trying to find right now, because I've gotten one of my shirts just to do a test buy to make sure everything's smooth. Like I said, I wore it. I tried it on before I washed it, and great, but then I washed it and it was like shorter. So I was like, damn. But I mean, the t-shirt quality is good. It's just like I said, the length of it. If you're tall, if you're not a tall person, if you're average height, then it's perfectly fine. You're good to go. Um, but I'm still looking to do improvements on it to do for the website. It's like I said, it's just beginning. So just hop on over sometime, check out turn2aquatics.com. Um, there is one, the logo on the top left corner of the screen. Don't click because I've clicked on it. And for some reason it takes me to my PayPal, but it doesn't take me. It's like an error or something. So I got to fix that little click on that, which is really nothing when you click on the actual logo. But yeah, it's a build in progress. It even says it up there where it's still in progress. So yeah, you can just check it out sometime when you got a minute. Because I think it's really interesting to learn how to do all this stuff. Like when I first came in, I didn't know about Fish Fam. I didn't know about everybody or anybody that does this. I just started, and this was probably like maybe a year and 4 months ago when I again had set up my first aquarium in like 12 years. And even back then, I only had like a 110 gallon. I just had it when I was a bachelor. I just had it in my room, like that was it. And then when I moved, I had to take it down. I never put it back up again. So whenever I finally settled in my house, I finally bought a house at the age of 40. um, because military active duty, you move around too much, and it's completely pointless to buy a house. But after I was on my last shore command or my last few commands, I was here where I'm at in Virginia Beach. I knew I was going to stay. I was like, it's time to buy a house. So I got one, and eventually when I retired, I was like, I have time now. I don't have to leave all the time to go out to sea or something like that because it was Navy. But I set up tank, and what happens after that when you start liking the hobby? What happens? You set up tank. You're like, oh man. Yeah, and I did that. I took my 10 and I replaced it with this 20 right here that's set up in this corner right here, not behind me, but because that's a 30, but this one you can't see right now. I had set it up, but I put tiger barbs in it. It was a tiger barb tank, and it was great. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then I get, easily I got wanted to add more, so I got another tank. Added another little tank to this room, a little 10 gallon. I had a beta. I got a little. It wasn't a clown loach, but it was just another little loach. And I got a few tetras. And I looked it up. Say, can you put a beta with anything? And they said a male beta. Go ahead and put them with some neons or something. You'll be fine. Just introduce the neons first. That's what I read. It worked out. And then I was like, I got another little, like 2.5 gallon little tank. And I got a female beta. And I put the two tanks next to each other. It's like, what happens to the male beta? Sees the female. Well, it kind of can stress him out. The male could make a bubble nest. He could, get like he thinks he's getting ready to breed with the female beta. So I put a piece of paper in between them because they're right next to each other, just kind of separate them from seeing each other. I had them for a while. Um, and unfortunately, after some time, they died, and I didn't, I was still kind of getting the whole thing down again. But then my first big tank for me was at 65, which I have my flower horn in there right now, and I had like the tropical fish in there, and I think I actually have a couple of these fish, or at least one of them. No, a couple of them are still from back then when they were all up in there. Um, I'm just looking at one of the fish. He's still kind of floating, but he's still alive. But he's alive. Yeah, he's good to go. So yeah, and then I slowly built it up. I built up my tanks, and then forever I kept looking. I was like, oh man, I want to get a huge tank. I want to get. I think it'd be so cool to have, over 100-gallon tank. So where the 65 was downstairs, I eventually had put a 150. I went to my local aquarium fish store, and I saw it was really a 125 sitting on the stand with the canopy on it. And I was looking, I ended up telling him I wanted to buy that one. And then I went back. I was like, wait a minute, how low is this sit? I noticed it was sitting up on this little platform. So it was like, yeah, this little platform, maybe like 4 inches high, and then you had the stand, and then you had a tank and the canopy. Well, the canopy was like a dark colored canopy, and that's the one I was supposed to get. But they delivered the light color. Honestly didn't hit me. I didn't notice until after they already brought it in, and I set the tank on, and I was like, damn it. I was like, well, I'll just stain it sometime, which I still haven't done yet, but I could still do, and I want to do that eventually. But the tank, I kind of want to move it eventually. It's not really where I want it anymore. I want to put it in the family room. And I want to keep the downstairs couple tanks in that same room. I don't want to have them spread out in like our front. Like we have a front living room where people can come in and hang out. Um, I don't want to keep it in there anymore. Um, so, but even when I was there buying that 125, um, like I said, I went back to where it was at in the store, and I was like, this is kind of low, even though it was on the little platform with the stand and then the tank and the canopy. I'm tall, so it's like, the 150 is about what that much taller than the 125, like the height. So I was like, I saw a 150 sitting there. I was like, will this fit on this? And they're like, absolutely, same depth, same 72 inches. I was like, awesome. I want to, change and get the 150 instead of the 125. So I did that. Um, so excited. I was like, when can it be delivered? So I had to wait a couple days for the owner to come and show up and deliver it to the house and help me put it in place. And then I was like, all right, this is my first tank, huge tank. I'm like, I know how to fill up a tank, and I'm thinking it's gonna take some time. So, got the gravel, got everything, put the water in, and I had four. This is before I even had a canister filter. I didn't even know how to use one yet. I had four um, sponge filters, four good sized sponge filters. So I had the gravel in there, put the sponge filters, two in corner and kind of two more centered out, turned it on, just put fake plants in there and just let it run, just to kind of get the visual down. Let it run. Started doing it cycle and everything. I didn't have any media from another tank that I could have put in there. Well, I did, but I didn't back then. I didn't think about it. So of course, when you set up a brand new tank and you're all like, man, I don't want this water cycle's gonna take forever. So I eventually was like, wait a minute, let me just take some of the media from my other tank and just kind of just set it in there. So I did, and in the 150, it still takes a little bit of time to get that set up, right? So, um, I had to get that would test the water after a while. So I think I did it for about a week or so. So just let it run with the other media stuff from another tank, and so eventually, water parameters were good. Everything was good to go. So, and that 150 has been through so many different types of tanks inside there. Because it was like my ultimate goal a while ago was to make that a saltwater tank. Okay, because I've been through tropical fish in there, yes, in a 150. I've been through cichlids in there, and I've just rotated them around different tanks and stuff. But excuse me. And then eventually, I told my wife, I was like, I want to make this a saltwater tank, a 150. Okay, and having no RO system or anything. Okay, not no experience with the RO system. Nothing like that. You know what do I do? I buy get the live rock, get the sand, I change everything out, get the sand, live rock, do everything I'm supposed to do. You know, get the water parameters where they need to be, and after a while, I'm like, I can't just put. Well, the saltwater tank I had that started out small. It started out in a tank in I think that like this 20 actually that's next to me. You can't see it, but the 20 tall. I started out with a saltwater there, and then I with little clownfish, a couple live rocks, and then I moved it to a 30 like this size right here, which I think it is that tank it used to be in. Then I moved the saltwater to the 65, and then I moved it to the 150. So and now like it was in my saltwater tank was established in the 150 for a while, right? I had like I have videos up there that you can check out. Um, and so after a while, I'm like, man, this is like the water evaporates. You got to keep filling with the water. I only have a little 4-stage RO system, like a little what do you call it? The oh my god, it's like a little thing about this big. It's got the 4 little stages in there, and for a 150, that is not feasible. Okay, and after like several couple months, I'm like, all right, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. I got to constantly make water out of this little thing, these little RO. They call it a RO, Aqua Life Buddy. Says I don't know. I still have it, but so I went and got a 90 gallon, and it had the it's the bottom of the tank in the corner is drilled. So that was my new experience with a drilled tank. Okay. Um, Oh, I forgot to mention in my 150 after this, I had African cichlids in there too at one point. So I went from tropical fish to American cichlids, switched it out to African cichlids. I think back to American cichlids, saltwater. From saltwater, now I'm back to cichlids, like American cichlids. All right, and that's I'm gonna stay there. All right, so now the saltwater is in a 90, which is closer to the garage, closer to like my backyard door, which is a lot easier. It's in a smaller tank, and now, like I said, it's drilled. So I have built a little. I took a 20 long and I made a sump. Again, there's a video with that too. Uh, so I learned a lot. I learned a lot how to make a sump, a basic sump from scratch. I didn't even go out and buy the sumps that are already made that cost like $200-300. I just took a 20 long. I bought some little acrylic or not are they acrylic? These little baffles, and I researched the type of silicone, aquarium safe silicone. Even on the bottle it says not recommended for aquarium use, but I looked it up, and all these people have used it. They said they use it forever, and it's doing fine. So it's crazy to see all this little life that can grow down in your sump. You know, it's pretty cool. And but again, I'm like even in the 90, I'm filling up water, right? So, but it's a lot closer to where I make the water with my little RO system, so it's not nearly as a pain in the butt. And I did have corals. I had some little corals. I didn't have them long enough for the corals to get big. That was a whole nother thing right there. Because I went and got the lights. And those lights are not cheap. Okay, I have 2 lights, and oh, Tanked Aquatics, what's going on? Good morning. With the sump, you could have made an auto top off direct. Yeah, I know. And people told me that too. And like I said, I was new at it. I'm not very experienced with it. I've researched the auto top off um, with the from the RO unit, and like I said, it's just it's just a little 4-stage. I can't remember the name of it. I got it off of like Amazon. Um, that's all I got really. I have the like I said, I have it's in a 90 right now, and I have I got I got like 3 tangs in there, and some littler fish, a couple clownfish. And it's cool. And I have so much filtration on that thing. It's like, and it's so clear, but I'm sure it's way overkill right now, but the sump, I'm just so glad I built the sump because I learned so much from doing it. Um, I don't know what I was so motivated just to create one on my own. You know, looked at YouTube videos. I looked at um, well, plus looking at the price of buying an actual sump, I was like, holy crap, you know. Uh, so it was cool. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it. There is no such thing as overkill. Yeah, I know. So basically, I was going on a trip to Illinois to move my mother from there to out here, right? So, you know, and I wasn't even going to ask the wife to change out, you know, like I mean, she could have done it, but changing out the filter sock in the sump or just watching and everything. Um, so I was just like, I had made enough RO water with the little thing that I got, and I was only gone for I was gone for about a week. So I made sure plenty of water was the RO water was down in the tank and in the sump, and because when it gets low, I have my return pump sitting in there, and if it gets too low, starts shooting out air out the return. Um, but again, like you said, if I had an auto top off, I wouldn't have to be dealing with that. I know, and maybe I will. I mean, like I said, I need to kind of get more into that and more experience with that. Hell, even right now, I have a protein skimmer that's not. It's a hang on the back one, right? And I have some video. I show like some videos on there that show what it is. But I mean, it works fine. That's because I had the hang on the back that was for when I had the 150, right? So yeah, it doesn't look the greatest. Um, but and then I have whenever I want to leave, I put a uh what you call it internal canister filter inside the tank just for extra while I'm gone, right? And it's still in there too. It's one of those Marine Land, like the internal canister filter, the one that's about like this big, and I just put some pot scrubbers in there, and whether it's doing anything or not, I mean, and then I have a sponge, I have a sponge filter sitting in there. I would have dude. I even got a canister, like the 307 canister filter, like in there. So I have all that filtration with the sump in there. Um, and that was all because when I was going to be gone, and just to make sure that it was good to go. I just happened to leave it there, right? So I'm still doing what I would need to do to tweak and make things better with that 90-gallon saltwater tank, right? So 95% of marine fish keeping and keeping habitations alive is all about the plumbing. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing too. Hey, color guppies, what's going on? Good morning. Um, when I got into the drill, whenever I got that 90-gallon that was drilled, learning about the bulkhead seals and all this other stuff, and I had people. I was having people at my aquarium store show me all this stuff, like you know, with the plumbing and everything for that, and that was a whole new ball game for me. All right, and there's still a lot of stuff again. I had mine a calcium reactor, phosphate reactor, CO2. Wow, that's see, that gets into a lot of stuff. I was explaining earlier, I had some corals. They were babies. I had some. I at the time it was getting a little bit too much for me for I didn't quite have the setup I would have needed to have like the ecosystem with the corals full grown and everything. I just didn't have it, right. Um, so I took those corals and I sold them. They were small still, two cool little corals. Um, I just went back to Fowler. I just went back to the live rock with the fish, and because I went out and bought the lights. You know, Radeon. I have 2 Radeon lights with the bar that goes across. I mean, it fits across that if I wanted to put it on there. But no, those lights are not cheap at all. So I had those. I'm not even using them. Probably gonna end up selling them because I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into corals one of these days. I don't know. You know. So I grew a 2-inch hippo. Okay. How long does it take the blue hippo tangs to grow? I have one in there. Still kind of small. It's still small, sort of, bigger than when I got them, but 16-inch and I is wow, tang. Yeah, and there's a sailfin tang in there too. It's kind of, it's not. It's about like that. It's not even close. And I've seen those things full grown. Holy crap! I'm over at the aquarium store in my neighborhood. I'm like, I saw one full grown. I'm like, holy shit, those things are gonna get huge. So, and then there's a Tomini tang. I don't know how big those guys get, but it's about that big. Um, then I have a yellow wrasse. I had no idea those things bury themselves in the sand. Like this was a couple months ago. I didn't know that. For a long time, be like, where is that fish? He comes out once in a while, like daily, but I guess when it's hungry. And when I was swapping from the 150 to the 90, I'm like, where is this fish? And then like after 2 days, I'm looking in all the buckets that I had from the water with the live rock, and I'm looking for it. So on day 2, I'm looking. I still had the sand with some water in the 150, and I'm moving it around my hand, and he just shimmies out of it, and the water's cold too. And I'm like, oh shit! So I grabbed him real quick, put him in the 90s, good to go. But um, I didn't know that, but they buried themselves in the sand. Okay, so I used to feed my tangs broccoli, uncooked spinach, algae sheets. Okay, all right. Um, I haven't fed them that stuff, but I mean, if they eat it, shoot, why not? Because I feed them just like the stuff you buy, like the little seaweed sheets. I give them one of those, like a day or every couple days or something. And then the little frozen cubes that you get in the little cooler section at your fish store, little green ones, algae, shrimp, whatever they're called. And also have like those little tiny pellets. I usually give them in the morning time. Tangs are so fat and thick. Yeah, it seems like the tanks. And I didn't know this about hippo tanks. When I was swapping the tank out from the 150 to the 90, um, so the little blue hippo tank, small, got himself wedged up in this little ornament, which I don't have ornaments in my saltwater tank, but I did back then, right? Um, and I'm trying to get him out of there, like with my fingers. And yeah, don't do that. And I learned that one the hard way. And its fin pricked my finger, and I was like, and I was like, oh shit, And I really quick, I went to look up, are they poisonous? And I don't think they're poison, but if their fin like pricks your finger, it could swell up, and luckily it was a small hippo tang, they could swell up. Um, yeah, don't pick. I learned that. That's what I'm saying. I definitely won't do that anymore. I learned that one the hard way. Yeah, but it was like 30 minutes. I put my finger in hot water for about 30, 45 minutes, and then it wasn't like painful, but it was just like very unpleasant. So yeah, never handling hippo tangs anymore with my hand. you know, and don't pick up coolie loaches. The same thing. Okay. I think we all learn stuff the hard way with this. You know. Oh man. Yeah. So here in a little bit, I have to go down to. There's a little store in my area, like in Chesapeake over here, where where this nice lady owns a little like a I don't want to call it vegan, but it's a vegan juice store or whatever. She has a 40 gallon in there with some decent sized goldfish, and she needed help. She had somebody that was doing, cleaning the tank. So I went over there and cleaned out the tank a few times, and I guess just yesterday she said that she has one that's kind of sitting in the corner. It moved around, I guess, when she fed it. She did a water change, but I'm gonna be going down there to see what's going on with it um, here shortly. I learned. Okay, so what are you getting today? I mean, I'm not getting any fish today, and you're going to a store to get some. Okay, cool. Am I saying that wrong? Kingston, North Carolina. Uh, well, however far that is from Virginia Beach. I mean, like I'm literally. I think I'm about 17 miles from the border of North Carolina. So it's like Moyock County is right. Like I drive down 168 from like Virginia Beach straight down to the border. It takes me about 17 miles away. There's really no traffic ever going down that way. So it doesn't take long for me to get down there. Maybe like 20 minutes, 15 minutes to the border. Um, Now wherever I'd have to look up where Kingston, North Carolina. I don't know where that's at, but you have a friend who owns a store there. She used to live in Hawaii. She knows her marine fish. Okay, she used to capture wholesale in Molokai. Okay, yeah, that's cool in Molokai. See, I lived in Hawaii for about 7 years. On the main island in Oahu. I took trips to like some of the other islands like Hawaii, um, the Big Island, and Maui. Because you get hot planes, little flight. But I mean, being in act when I was active duty, we just went there with the ship. They called them Tiger cruises. But Hawaii, yeah, man, this is before I was even in the fish hobby. But if I could go back to Hawaii right now with what I know about like saltwater fish, oh, I would in a heartbeat go like scuba diving to see if I can see any of the yellow tangs out there. Buddy of mine who is out there now, he sent me a video, which is on one of my videos, and he went scuba diving and saw some of those. Oh man, what I don't know if they're like the saltwater version of the convicts. They had the stripes going down, and there's a whole bunch of them just swimming on the rocks. And then he has a little video clip of a turtle with a thing on its shell for like a beacon or something. But there was on Molokai 3 Mile Long Sand Blast Beach. Trying to remember where Molokai is exactly. But man, I could drive around Oahu in like uh the road that they had up H1 through the North Shore, down through Kaneohe Bay and back around to Waikiki, Oahu, over to the base in like an hour and 20 minutes. I've done that so many times. It's pretty fun. The North Shore where they go surfing at out there, I don't know if you ever seen on TV like the surf competitions. I used to think that was closer in, but that's way out there. That's way out there, and you're just like, dang, you didn't realize how far out the waves are and how the surfers are. Tons of convict tangs, yeah, and boxfish, peppermint shrimp. It's awesome. Yeah, I wish I could go like one day. Who knows? Maybe if I go back there, go snorkeling, and just to see them out there. That would be so freaking awesome. Out here in Virginia Beach, going like I mean, they don't have it's nothing like that. Like if you go scuba diving or snorkeling, you don't see anything cool like that. Yeah, I left Hawaii in 2004, so I haven't been out. It's been a long time. I know heard a lot of things. Well, Waikiki stuff. A lot of it's changed, I guess. A lot of touristy stuff's changed. But so you were saying that where is it? You have a friend who owns a store there, like here in Virginia, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake area. It killed me. Saw people. Keely's Tang and eating what? Really? Yeah, I think the most I've ever spent on a Tang. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I had a purple Tang, and it was doing fantastic. And this happened about 2 months ago. I've had this purple Tang for about only for about eight, like 6, 7, 8 months. I hate bringing it up, but water parameters are great. Everything. I don't know. One day it was just swimming around. I didn't see anything on it to look abnormal or unusual. Anything that would make me have to quarantine it. And then like one morning I woke up and it's just kind of sitting there dead in the back. I was like, oh my god. So that yeah, purple tang. Um, they are. Yeah, that thing was like about $200. Yep. Used to be around 80, but yeah, they're mm, yeah. And then there's a couple stores around here for the marine side that just looking at some of the fish and even more than that, like $400, and I'm just like, holy crap. So yeah, yep. Oh wow, you used to own a retail store. Cool. Oh okay. The store is on Phillips Road. All right, cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So owning a store, is it like, is it? Because you know how some people, or like you could you could have a business out of your house. Like breeding. You have like your whole setup and everything. And I imagine, what was I watching? Like the guy, like the two from the KG Tropicals on one of their streams saying that doing it from your house is only a fraction of what you got to do if you own the store. I know you got to, it's a lot more that comes with the store. I get that. And, um, I mean, I can't imagine, like just own, like how big is the store? You know what I mean? Like what all it entails to, I always thought it'd be cool, but clearly I'm not, I mean, I have a different job, but any position to ever do that. And I was like, I'll take my um, garage and turn it in, and then I'm like, oh, my garage is not insulated like the house is. It can get cold out there, and I'm like, do I really want to turn in my garage into a fish room? Not really, because I want to keep it for if I ever had to put the cars in there, even though I have crap in there anyway. But brick and mortar store, if done correctly, can be profitable. However, the economy is what will determine. Yeah. Oh, I get that totally. I get it. I get it. I just like I just like going to them and looking around. If anything, if there's really nothing there I need to buy, you know, like I had my time where it was like I'm there mainly for freshwater, or I'm there mainly for saltwater fish for like a good little while. Now I'm just kind of between that kind of freshwater, but looking at saltwater again right now. Sort of, it's off and on, off and on. I just think it's cool going into the where you see like where they sell the reefs, or the coral, where they sell the corals. So they got like those low boys, like the. And whenever I got the idea of making something, I looked underneath it and you could see the sump that they have down there. And I saw some of them have fish down there, and I was just like, man, that's pretty cool. I have no fish in my sump. I mean, I don't know if people do or not, but I just don't. When the economy crashes, the first business to go are pet stores. I lived through one in 1978, 84, 90s, and 2008. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's why I could definitely see that. You know, could definitely see. Oh, I'm getting an echo right here. Let me turn that speaker down just a little. So yeah. So right now it's like my salt water is just it's in the 90, like I said, with the 20-gallon long underneath, with all that extra filtration that I have on it. It seems to be working. You know. Um, so let me show you real quick. Right now in this little 20 that I got. Um, I know most people might think this is pretty unconventional, but there's some. This is fresh water. It's just I got some neons in here, and I got that, that ornament. I figured was pretty cool in there. That was a gift. And in here also I have there's two baby angels, and I know they're with these neons, but they're doing fine. They're in there somewhere. I just saw them a minute ago. They're probably down there by this back behind that decoration somewhere. There, in fact, you can see that one. You can see them right there. There's two of them, or actually three in there. All right. And I have some baby. There's of course, there's like three of those baby polar blue convicts. For now, they're all good in here. For now, they're good, but eventually, I'm gonna have to obviously move them. They definitely can't stay like that in there. All right, but yeah. So basically, what I was doing when I did the stream this morning, all right, I wanted to test out um like an intro that I just, this little intro that I made off one of these little apps, and I just wanted to see if it worked for this stream earlier when I first came on here. Because like I said earlier, I don't know if you're on, but I got the a time, got a little time slot. I mean, I know you can stream when you want to stream, but I got a time slot I saw an opening for Sundays from 11 to 12 after Degenerate Fish Keeper. So I was like, got a hold of Matt from Liquid Zoo, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll put you on there. That's cool if you want to set time for that." I was like, "All right, sweet." So that's where I'm at for that. I just got to remember, set a reminder. Um, so doing the business from your home has less risk financially because you can control your costs. No rent. Yeah, true, true. And I have not to create a business, but I mean, what happens when you have convicts? You have babies, right? And that's happened a couple times. I could have avoided it, but we have two polar blue convicts we've had forever. My wife is just completely attached to them, right? So, and so many times they've had babies. So a couple of times I kept the batches and just to be like, oh, this is really the first time I ever had anything bred in my tank. Not that I was doing, obviously, just just put them in your tank, right? So I wanted to try to see. I was like, maybe I could sell these, and they're convicts. So what store doesn't have those, right? Um, time is it 10? Okay, 20. Uh, so I asked a couple stores, and I mean, maybe I didn't ask them right, but they're like, oh, we're not gonna buy them, or they didn't say we're not gonna. They said you could surrender them over, and I was like, surrender. But that's I guess is what they call it, It's like I was like, I'll if you guys want them, if they didn't. So I mean, I would like to at least do it once or twice, have breed some fish, and find somewhere who would. I don't know. Do people buy from an average person? Do they buy the fish? Do they hate buying fish? I know they usually have a place where they get their fish from, right? Like a farm or something. You know, I mean, when you own a store, like, did you get your uh, did you get all your fish from like one place or a couple places, or I mean, I'm sure if you had like marine and freshwater, they probably were different things. Yeah, I mean, I heard that like if you try to sell your fry or your to what more of a regular pet store, but not like the big chains, right? Not like Petco or PetSmart or anything like that. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to get some information because if I even try to breed something, it's almost like a couple of people I've asked, it's like they didn't want to hear and didn't want to buy. They just wanted to be like, oh, if you can give them to us. It's like what? Doesn't seem right. Depends on the fish. I have no problem. Okay, mostly from wholesalers. I would buy from them first choice on my fry. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have some at home and like if I bred some, what's the harm in try to make a little money off of it? Just play the game once or twice, right? But who knows? I mean, if I try that, time huge. I mean, I would even go for like the discounts, something like I would be good for store credit or something. I wouldn't really care, if I needed to get like a heater or something. Yeah, I could. You could have sold them by shipping. I never bought a. I never bought a fish yet. I mean, I probably sure will from having it shipped to me. At first, I was like, which most people probably be like, "What? Fish can live through the mail?" I mean, obviously we know they can't, but and I get it. You buy fish from people to help support them. It's not the fact that they cost them, would cost a little bit more, but you just want to help support their business, which I am totally for. All right, and I'll do that too. From a starter's point, remember they have to feed them and clean them the tanks. So it's really going to depend on the species availability. I get it. Yeah, like we have several, like a few. I would say one, two, three, like the good ones that I'm talking. I'm thinking where I would usually go to. 4 or 5 of them in the area, that in my area, for whether it's fresh or salt water. Okay. That's what I'm saying. You read just comics, they just shake their head and laugh. I trust. I learned that down the road. Yeah, because they're just too easy. Yep, yep, yep. I get it. So, but hey, Tanked Aquatics, everybody else that's on here. I do have to run, but again, like I said, I will be back tomorrow. It's Sunday at 11. I do have some things like I have to run down to this place to check out this 40 gallon because she said that one of her goldfish are just kind of chilling in the corner. She said I went to eat, and I get to look at, test the water, do water change, clean out the filter. I do it once a month anyway for her. So, um, and I was like, wow, should I make business cards? Just to have an excuse to have business cards. Uh, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I have to, I moved my mother out here from Illinois, so a couple things to help out with that too. And then this evening, me and my wife are going to be celebrating our anniversary, which was actually on the 6th. Um, so we're going out to dinner later, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I might hop on a stream tonight. I usually check them out. see what's going on. Like last night, I went on, you know, I went to see what's going on. I went on Terry's. I didn't go on Terry. I just went on I saw the stream. We had like 6 up to 7 people. I was so ready to get on there, but I didn't. It looked like fun. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. 12 years. 12 years. Known each other for like 14. How we did it, I don't know. I guess we just get along in a weird way. But again, guys, appreciate you coming on here, and I got to take care of some stuff. And thanks so much, Tank Aquatics, for that info. That's helpful. And yeah, I'd have to see how far away. What you were saying was, well, what was that town? I'm scrolling back here. Oh, here's one of your friend's store, 705 Phillips Road, Kingston. Yeah, I gotta see how far Kingston is. You know, just curious. But yeah. Anyway, I will see you guys later on. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to check out my website. It's just something small, you know, just beginners, little baby steps, you know. So I'm gonna be adding to it a lot more. So anyway, see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I had to say it. Go ahead and subscribe. All right, some great content. All right, see you guys later.